Welcome to You Matter Network, a space where real people slow down, feel seen, and never have to feel alone. I'm Patricia Holyfield. If you found your way here today, you didn't come by accident. How are you really doing today? You know what? You don't have to act strong here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do now. This is a good place to stay. This is a space for real human connection, away from noise. Here, we don't judge stories, we act and treat them with empathy. And yes, your presence here matters. Absolutely. Please join our community. Today, we'll hear 3 stories, each one carrying real struggles and choices. Marvin, please, let's begin with writer A's story.
Okay, Patricia. It's from an anonymous writer, and it says, "Good day, Patricia. I am a 33-year-old woman, married to a 43-year-old man, and this is a story I never imagined I would tell out loud. When we were living in South Africa, my husband was unfaithful barely 2 months after I gave birth to our daughter. I was still healing, still learning how to be a mother, still fragile in ways I did not yet have words for. That betrayal marked the beginning of a long season of silence, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. On his birthday in 2021, the woman he was involved with called my phone 7 times in a row. I did not answer. I could not bring myself to hear her voice. I was already struggling with post-birth emotional stress, and that incident pushed me into a very dark place mentally. I felt isolated, ashamed, and overwhelmed by pain I did not know how to explain to anyone. There were moments when my thoughts became frightening, moments where I felt like giving up on everything, but my faith carried me through. I held on to prayer and the belief that my life still had purpose. I wanted to leave the marriage then, but we were in the middle of a complicated immigration process, and walking away felt impossible. I stayed, hoping things would somehow improve. I was granted a United Kingdom visa first and lived alone for almost a year. During that time, I worked relentlessly to make sure my husband and daughter could join me as dependents. I paid for the visas, secured an apartment, and covered my daughter's flight. I could not afford his flight as he was working, yet I was insulted and shamed for that decision, despite everything else I carried financially and emotionally. Health-wise, my body has not been kind to me. I was diagnosed with fibroids, hormonal imbalance, and adenomyosis, conditions that cause chronic pain. I am also a survivor of past abuse, which makes physical intimacy extremely difficult. Still, I tried to meet my husband halfway, even when it hurt, even when it triggered old wounds, because I believed marriage required sacrifice. In our home, I cook and clean, he pays the rent, while I handle most other bills. We split groceries, yet I cover almost all of our daughter's food expenses because she is very selective. Despite this, he does not support me financially, does not take me out, and shows little interest in my well-being. Whenever we go out together as a family, his mood shifts. He appears angry, withdrawn, as though being present with us is a burden. The only time he seems truly happy is when he goes out alone to drink and party. Eventually, I stopped asking to spend time together. He goes out almost every day of the week and returns home in the early hours of the morning, often intoxicated. Even on work days, he finishes around 8 in the evening, but does not come home until well after midnight. I have spoken to him calmly, cried, explained how this affects me, yet nothing changes. What hurts even more is that our 5-year-old daughter has started noticing his behavior and asking questions. That realization broke something inside me. Around the same time, I noticed that parts of his phone were locked. There were multiple conversations with different women, many of them single mothers. He would say things like, "Do you know how many women want me?" whenever I refused intimacy. Slowly, denial became impossible. There's one woman in particular he's involved with now. She has children, and their relationship is ongoing. She has been in my home, slept in my bed, and even been in my daughter's room. He took my child to meet her. Writing that still feels unreal. Recently, I discovered she became pregnant for him, and he arranged a termination. Finding this out shattered me completely. To make matters worse, he was involved in a serious car accident related to this same woman. He was driving under the influence and without a valid license, leading to an ongoing court case that could result in severe consequences. Legal fees are draining resources, and the uncertainty is terrifying. I pray for him constantly, yet it feels like my prayers fall into silence. I am planning to buy a house next year so I can leave with dignity and safety. I do not want to confront him while still under the same roof, especially knowing his family may interfere. My heart is heavy, my spirit is tired, and I am torn between speaking now or waiting. I am in deep pain, and I'm asking, should I confront him now, or should I wait until I'm free to walk away? I share this not to seek pity, but clarity. I have spent years minimizing my own pain to keep peace, telling myself endurance was strength. Now I question that belief. I wonder what example I'm setting for my child about love, respect, and self-worth. I fear the impact of staying in an environment filled with tension, neglect, and repeated betrayal. At the same time, I fear confrontation without an exit plan. Friends tell me to be patient, others urge me to speak immediately. Some say silence protects me, others say silence is destroying me. I feel stuck between survival and self-respect. Each day I wake up hoping for change, and each night I go to bed disappointed. I'm exhausted from being strong alone. I want peace, stability, and a future where my daughter and I feel safe emotionally and practically. This is why I'm asking for guidance, not judgment. I am not strong right now. I'm tired, confused, and afraid of making the wrong decision. I feel like I'm slowly disappearing inside this marriage, yet I'm scared of what will happen if I speak up without a clear way out. I don't know how much more I can endure, but I also don't know how to leave safely and with dignity. I keep asking myself painful questions every day. Am I protecting myself by staying quiet, or am I destroying myself by doing so? Am I being patient, or am I teaching my daughter that this kind of treatment is normal? I feel trapped between fear and hope, between wanting peace and being terrified of confrontation. Some days I feel numb. Other days the pain feels unbearable, and I cry in silence so my child will not hear me. I don't have all the answers. I don't even know what the right next step is. I only know that I'm hurting deeply, and I can't continue like this forever. I need help understanding how to leave, how to rebuild, and how to protect my child and myself emotionally and practically. I feel lost, and I'm asking with all honesty, what should I do now, and how do I get out of the situation before it completely breaks me?
Writer A, your story shows pain, endurance, and a deep need for clarity, not weakness. I hear your exhaustion and courage. This is not about blame. It's about self-preservation. If you have a word for writer A, leave it gently in the comments. Let her know she's not alone. Marvin, let's hear from writer B, please.
Coming right up. Writer B is an anonymous writer as well. It reads as follows. I am 31 years old, not married yet, and in fact, I have always struggled in romantic relationships, especially with people close to my age. From the beginning, I'm often told that I'm too much, that I talk too much, that I do not listen enough, or that I ask too many questions. I've heard those words so many times that they now echo in my head whenever something starts to go wrong. Both of my serious relationships ended with the men walking away completely. No closure, no second look, no explanation. I'm the kind of woman who stays too long, who believes patience can fix things, who gives chances even when my intuition tells me to stop. I have a strong personality, one that knows what it wants, and speaks up when something feels off. I do not know how to pretend or stay quiet just to keep a relationship intact. Maybe that makes me difficult. Maybe men do not like women who confront issues directly. At first, they seem drawn to my confidence and honesty. They say they admire how sure of myself I am. But over time, that same trait becomes the problem. They get irritated because I'm not calm enough to ignore things that hurt me. I do not swallow discomfort easily. After my first 2 relationships failed, I decided to stop dating seriously. That was when I gave a chance to someone I had known for years. We met in early 2021 through professional consulting work. He was older, 43 now, and had always been respectful, consistent, and present in a way that felt different. Over the years, he asked to meet outside work, casual meetings without deadlines, and I always declined. Toward the end of 2023, I finally agreed to meet occasionally, maybe once a month. From the start, I told him clearly that I did not want a relationship with him. The age difference mattered to me, and he had a child, which was not something I had imagined for my future. He assured me the meetings were friendly, nothing more. Then, in December 2024, during one of those meetings, he told me he wanted me to be his partner. He said he was ready to settle and build a life. I declined that day and stopped speaking to him. Months later, in the spring of 2025, we reconnected. I told him I was tired of dating people who thought they were ready for commitment but were not. I told him clearly that I would not be physically intimate outside of marriage and that I disliked how entitled people become once dating begins. I asked for transparency, especially regarding his son. I laid out everything I wanted up front and told him I would not minimize myself for anyone. He agreed to all of it. At first, he was intentional and attentive. We agreed to date seriously for a year and then discuss formalizing things. He wanted to have all his children before 45, and I wanted stability and peace after years of disappointment. Slowly, things began to change. Communication became inconsistent. He started arriving late to dates. Expectations around physical closeness returned. I gave in because I believed we were dating intentionally toward marriage. 6 months passed, and I had not met a single one of his friends, nor had he met mine. Every attempt to integrate our lives failed. I asked to meet his son, and he said he needed to speak with the child's mother first. That conversation never happened. I tried suggesting routines, shared activities, even attending church together, but nothing followed through. One day, after I raised these concerns again, he told me he was not ready and that I was rushing him. I withdrew emotionally to protect myself. I told him how his words affected me and said that while he figured himself out, we needed to pause physical intimacy to create space. He insisted he wanted the same future, just on a timeline he could not define. He agreed to the boundary. I stopped going to his place and limited our time together. Then his behavior shifted again. He became impatient. He started picking me up late at night after being out. He would insist I stay over. When I maintained my boundary, conflict followed. He accused me of labeling him as someone only interested in physical access. I apologized for how that made him feel, but I reminded him that this was a boundary we agreed on together. Then he went silent, 3 days without a message or explanation. I drove to his place, desperate for clarity. He said it wasn't a breakup, just space. When I asked why he didn't communicate, he said his silence should have been enough. Now I'm left questioning everything. Is it unreasonable to date without physical intimacy? Am I wrong for communicating my boundaries clearly? Why do people enjoy access to me but not commitment? I'm naturally calm unless I care, and when I care, I try deeply. I'm tired of guessing where I stand. I'm tired of feeling like asking for clarity makes me difficult. I don't know whether to hold on or walk away again. I feel exposed, confused, and afraid of repeating the same cycle. I'm asking for help because I genuinely don't know what I'm doing wrong or how to stop ending up here.
Well, I think you are allowed to protect your heart while seeking connection, right? Truth is, a lot of people, especially people of faith, experience these kinds of struggles. You would be doing a great disservice if you faced this, overcame it, and didn't show someone how. Offer insight or advice gently. She's reading them. Writer B deserves compassion. Kind words can help Writer B feel less isolated in her journey. Thank you. Now we hold space for Writer C. Marvin, let's have it, please.
Okay. Writer C's name is Mrs. S. And she says, I got married in 2022, full of hope, love, and the belief that marriage meant partnership. I believed that no matter what life threw at us, we would face it together, side by side, as a team. I was convinced that love was enough to carry us through everything. But that has not been my reality. From the very beginning, I noticed I was carrying more than my share. I was the one thinking ahead, planning, worrying, paying bills, and fixing problems. Whenever issues came up, I wasn't supported. I was expected to handle it because I was strong. Strength, I realized, became my punishment. There were moments when we genuinely needed help from outside. For instance, when I was trying to manage a school change for my older child, a friend offered $1,000 to help. Even though my husband had money at the time, he didn't contribute. I covered the rest. That wasn't an isolated incident. It was the beginning of a pattern that has continued for years. I managed way bills, logistics, appointments, payments, follow-ups, and all the pressing responsibilities while my husband stayed mostly passive. Many times he would just sit, glued to his phone, disconnected from what was happening around him. I didn't just feel unsupported, I felt invisible, like my struggles didn't matter at all. I tried to talk to him. I tried to explain how lonely and heavy everything felt. Sometimes I stayed quiet because I didn't want conflict. Other times I spoke up, hoping something would change. But the same cycle repeated over and over. Neglect, indifference, silence. Slowly, something inside me broke. I stopped expecting help. I stopped asking. I stopped hoping. I became emotionally detached, not because I wanted to, because it was the only way to survive without being disappointed every day. Loving someone who refuses to show up drains you quietly until you no longer recognize yourself. It's like your heart learns to shrink so it won't break under the weight of constant disappointment. Now I'm 29 and 6 months pregnant, and this pregnancy has exposed everything I've been trying to ignore. Pregnancy is supposed to be a season of care, reassurance, and shared responsibility. Instead, I feel like I'm still walking alone, emotionally, mentally, and financially. My husband is physically present, but he is not present in this journey. Most hospital visits, planning, and stressful decisions still fall on me alone. I carry the baby, yes, but I also carry the burden of a marriage that feels completely one-sided. Because of everything I've endured since 2022, I can honestly say I am no longer emotionally attached in my marriage. I feel numb, not angry, just empty. I've been in survival mode for years, always strong, always patient, always waiting for something that never comes. I'm tired of being the only adult in the room, tired of feeling like love is one-sided, tired of carrying the emotional weight of two people when only one of us is showing up. I'm not writing this to destroy my home or shame my husband. I'm writing because I need support, advice, and truth from mothers and women who understand. I need to know, how do you cope when you feel married but completely alone? Is emotional detachment normal after years of neglect? How do you protect your mental health during pregnancy when your marriage feels heavy, almost suffocating? I feel trapped. I wonder if I should leave or stay, but leaving feels impossible right now. I don't want to make the wrong decision and regret it forever. I think about the future, about the baby I'm carrying and how to protect them, but I also feel like I'm drowning emotionally and mentally. There are days I can't even motivate myself to get out of bed. There are nights I lie awake wondering if anyone would notice if I disappeared for a little while. I know that's not okay, but it's how heavy this weight feels. Even when I try to reach out to him emotionally, it's like talking to a wall. When I express feelings or need help, I am met with silence, distraction, or sometimes irritation. It makes me feel like my needs, my voice, my humanity don't matter at all. I'm left alone with a heart full of fear, exhaustion, and confusion. I'm constantly questioning myself. Am I too sensitive? Am I expecting too much? But deep down, I know I am not. I'm asking for basic human partnership, support, care, and presence. And still, I am ignored. Even my older child notices the tension. I see it in their eyes when my husband refuses to engage, when he prioritizes his own comfort over ours. I feel guilty because I can't shield them from the emotional emptiness I feel. I worry about what they teach them about love, trust, and family. I feel like I'm failing them, even when I know I'm doing my best. The emotional weight, the exhaustion, and the sense of being invisible have left me feeling desperate. I want to scream, to cry, to run away, to just disappear somewhere safe and be seen, be cared for. But I can't. I'm here, and I'm still trying. I'm still hoping, even just a little, that something will change, that someone will notice, that someone will show up, that love doesn't always have to feel this one-sided. But with every day that passes, hope feels smaller and the weight feels heavier. I feel like I'm walking on a tightrope. One wrong step and everything could fall apart. My marriage, my sanity, my sense of self. And I can't escape the fear that maybe this is my life now. Maybe this is all I'm allowed. The helplessness, the isolation, the silent suffering, it is all consuming. I want to be honest here, because maybe someone else out there is feeling the same. Maybe someone reading this will see themselves and know they are not alone. But right now, I'm scared. I'm fragile. I'm overwhelmed. And I don't know how much longer I can keep carrying all of this alone. I want to reach out. I want to cry for help. But I also feel like nobody will listen. I don't want pity. I just want understanding. And I don't know where to find it. So here I am, sharing my story, hoping someone will respond, hoping someone will see me. I don't have answers. I don't have solutions. I just have raw fear, exhaustion, and a desperate wish for someone to notice before it's too late. And even as I write this, I don't know if I will ever feel safe or supported in this marriage. I don't know if the loneliness will ever end. I just know that right now, I'm surviving, barely, with my heart breaking quietly under the weight of it all.
I really wish I had all the words of encouragement you need in this moment. You are allowed to seek help, set boundaries, and reclaim your space safely. You've carried burdens alone for too long. Feeling detached after repeated neglect is human. Be gentle, empathetic, and understanding. Please, Writer C is reading. That's all for today's episode. I hope your words brought healing and direction to someone today. Please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for new posts. In this community, your presence makes this room warmer and wiser. Carry this truth with you. You are not invisible, and your life has value. You matter, and I love you.